Two Northamptonshire police constables were found guilty this week at Loughborough Magistrates Court of using threatening behaviour whilst off duty in Kettering on December the 27th, 2021. PC Leanne Cowie and PC Charlotte Taylor were socialising with friends at a restaurant when they became involved in an altercation with a member of the public. There's very little information available about what actually happens during the altercation, but the man was also arrested and charged, and in August this year he pleaded guilty to his part. He was then sentenced to 12 weeks in jail, suspended for 12 months. He was also made to undertake 150 hours of unpaid work as well as pay costs and a victim surcharge. I wonder why it's taken so long to get these two into court, apart from the fact they was trying their hardest to cover it up. Now, a suspended sentence, for those of you who don't know, can be offered to an offender who's given a custodial sentence of between 14 days and 2 years, or 6 months in a magistrate's court, which can then be suspended for a maximum of 2 years. This, of course, means that the person won't go directly to prison, but is given the opportunity to behave themselves. But that suspended sentence will come with conditions, up to 13 conditions in fact, but the most common ones are doing unpaid work, being subjected to a curfew, undertaking a treatment program for alcohol or drugs, and or being subjected to a rehabilitation activity requirement. Of course, if the offender does not comply with those conditions or is convicted of another offence during their suspended sentence term, they could end up going to jail for the original offence's original term, and if convicted of the other offence, for the term set for that second offence too. Now, moving on to PC Leanne Cowie and PC Charlotte Taylor, who, as I said, were also found guilty. The pair both received sentences of 12 months. Conditional discharge, an order to pay costs of £640 each. Now, the difference between a conditional discharge and a suspended sentence, although very similar, is that it means the magistrate or judge does not consider that punishment needs to be imposed right away, unlike the suspended sentence, which is a punishment and comes with conditions. However, if the offender does commit a further offence during the period of the conditional discharge, they will be or can be returned to court and resentenced for the original offence and for the new offence. And I say can be rather than will be because this is a cop we're talking about in this example. So in this, it means that it's very similar to a suspended sentence, but without any real punishment. And with a conditional discharge, it is also not possible to attach any conditions such as community orders. So apart from the £640, PC Leanne Cowie and PC Charlotte Taylor have ultimately had the charges against them discharged, and in the eyes of the law have received no punishment, as opposed to the member of the public who was involved in the incident, who was punished. Bit of a blue line privilege going on there, methinks. Although, due to being charged in the first place, both now must go through potential misconduct proceedings. Detective Inspector Andrew Tuff said that police officers are expected to maintain high standards of behaviour, both on and off duty. The public have the right to expect those standards not to be breached. Clearly, it's not acceptable for officers to be involved in this type of incident, and it's right that the case has been taken to court. Yeah, but is it right that the public get criminally punished and the plod don't? Both Cowie and Taylor had been on restricted duties while the investigation and court process took place, and the matter will now be put before the Northamptonshire Police Professional Standards Department to determine whether they deserve misconduct proceedings or not. Now, the fact that they've basically been allowed to get away with this by the court and the fact that they're women, I think this will be just a slap on the wrist punishment from the force, although that's simply a guess. We will ultimately have to wait and see.